feed that they were not
Not happening.
not
So
happening.
is it actually broadcasting or you're still
So now it is
that's live?
now it is broadcasting, but I need to leave you for 1 second.
That's okay, because right now I have a black screen. Before I had a gray screen, but now I have a black screen. Oh, now I've got your picture. Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. It looks like I got you. I'm just checking your personal page. I got you on the other two. Yeah, you're on your personal page.
Okay, hello.
We are happening.
Hello to anyone who has tuned in a minute early. Thank you for being so prompt.
Once you sit down, I'm just going to make sure everything that we have sound on all three, and then you'll be all set to go.
Yeah, I'm putting my phone over there. I just I had just printed out something. I was going to read a story, and I didn't have the story, so I had to print it out, and now I got it. Okay, hello everyone. Anybody there? I'm going to put it on comments so we can see. And Bruce, the sound engineer, is right there checking us out. And we just hit the vocal microphone. And this cord is somehow caught under my chair. Move that. There we go. Hello, everyone. Somebody made a comment, and it's too far away for me to see.
Okay, Jim.
Larry, okay. We're just going to test this out here and see if the sound balance is all right. Bruce, my engineer and friend, is listening right now to see if it's all working. And so what's not working is this thing keeps on coming unstuck, my guitar holder. Okay, yeah. Hello, everyone. I see several comments now. And we're going to play in any second now. How's that balance sound, Bruce?
Okay, Jim.
Yes.
Everything's working on all 3 pages.
Okay, great. Except for... And now we just heard the dog.
Jim, I think you're ready to go.
Yes. Thank you. I'm just pondering, everybody, should I move the dog from the kitchen? He's right there and he just barked. I think I should. Oh, well, boy, every time we try to start this on time, something happens.
Okay, Jim, I'm hanging up the phone. You're all set.
You're hanging up the phone. All right, I'll see you virtually.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Yep, bye.
Well, you just got a little peering backstage to hear that. And... I'm just going to ask my daughter who's downstairs, who just had a violin lesson, Louisa, can you get Boomer? That's the dog, Boomer. Yeah, that's his name. Okay, now we're going to get serious. Thank you for your patience. So many things happened today. All right. Yeah. Let us sing for our strength in numbers. Sing that freedom might never be betrayed. Sing to fortify our hearts and clarify our dreams, even as the peace we seek must be delayed. Even as the peace we seek must be delayed. Sing loud and raise the growing chorus. Sing to turn back the forces of hate, and sing a brave lament with healing refrain for a love too little and too late. For a love too little and too late. Sing for a patience with the process. Sing for courage on the road hard and long. For every worthy journey holds obstacles and snares. Heavy steps will be made lighter with a song. We sing to birth a peace resounding in our harmony, our dreams and our faith. Sing for we are measured and will be surely tested, though that shall not mean we will wait. Though that shall not mean we will wait. We sing to birth a peace resounding in our harmony, our dreams and our faith. Sing for we are measured and will be surely tested, though that shall not mean we will wait. That shall not mean we will wait. Samba, marching, protest, something. I had a list. Where's the list? There's the list. Okay. My unobtrusive pieces of paper need to cooperate here. It's almost Halloween, and we'd like to ask the musical question, what is scarier, Halloween or the election? Here's a song of mine. It's called Season of the Grateful Heart. I just realized something else. We're going to put it right on here. Oh, there. Look at that. Now we need to go back to this. Where are those roadies when you need them? So right there on the screen is PayPal me and Venmo me. It would be wonderful if you could pay a little donation for this concert. If not, it is just wonderful to have you here without that. Today, my daughter Louisa, I'm so proud of her, and 4 friends, all women, young women in high school, confronted the school board to tell them that it's time to change the Shrewsbury High School mascot name, the Colonials, to something a little more inclusive, less elitist, less racist, less clueless and tone deaf. And there's so many people say, well, the Colonials, they were nice people and they wore 3-cornered hats. And, and so many people want to confuse colonials with patriots, but it was actually American patriots who fought against the colonials, and we won against the colonial empire. So that's why we think it should change. And I had talked to her about it. I'll say the idea came from her dad, but I had no idea she was going to do this thing. She started a petition 3 months ago, working with a group that was doing Black Lives Matter protests and everything. She said, well, let's do this. And she started a petition, and it went kind of locally viral. 700 people signed it, and she got trolls. She got some hate mail. You're messing with you're ruining our history. You hate America. Yeah. So we would like to we would hope to think, we would like to think that these are people that just haven't thought about it enough, and they need to be enlightened. So for all you enlightened out there, here's a song. The season of the grateful heart. Surrender to the growing night. All the cycle's turning just and right, the passing of a blessed year. And thus revealed all nature rests, one life's repose, another start. For spring's return, wise earth invests with patient hand and grateful heart. So thank you for your donations, and more news. So, well, I guess I'm trying to that guitar right there. Don't fall over. I had some dental work done yesterday. I'm a little sedated and wandered through stuff today and actually did a lot of work. And then there was paying attention, or I wanted to see what happened with Louisa and the school board. They were positive about it. Of course, they have to explain to young people, oh, this is going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to be a big problem, and we have to talk. Well, the kids had already said that. Okay, yeah, great. You make it a whole town, contest maybe for a new logo, a new name for the high school. So I'm just so proud of her that she did that. And then this arrived, UPS. This is it's an electric guitar. This is a beast. Gotta turn it on. It's a wide neck to the guitar. So I wonder what this is going to sound like. I was thinking about autumn songs. I got a couple of autumn songs that I didn't write. This one. Oh, I got to read you this because this was French first, a French song, a song written by a French person. Jacques Prévert wrote this, and it was in the film The Children of Paradise. I know you know the song, so I'm keeping you in suspense. The feuille morte. Wow, I didn't say that in French. The dead leaves, the falling leaves, we call it in English. And this is what it really says in the French words. Oh, I wish so much for you to remember the joyful days when we were friends. At that time, life was more beautiful, and the sun burned. He uses the word burned, not shone. The sun burned more than it does today. Fallen leaves can be picked up by the handful. You see, I've not forgotten. Fallen leaves can be picked up by the shovelful. So can memories and regrets. And the north wind takes them into the cold night of oblivion. That is the words to the song in French. But Johnny Mercer, who is a wonderful songwriter, we love all his beautiful American songbag songs, and he put lyrics to melodies. He wrote this. Falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall, since you went away. The days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall. Oh, this is going to be fun to play this guitar. So I barely put my hands on this guitar. You're hearing it for the first time. And of course it can make other sounds too. Oh, that's fun. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm gonna just turn that off. The thing that I play the most, of course, is the classical guitar, the nylon string guitar that we call classical guitar, or some people call Spanish guitar. And I use my fingers primarily, but I did, certainly use a flat pick sometimes in my youth. Oh boy. I want to play you a song by a prophetic songwriter, and I'm honored to say he's my friend. Peter Mayer wrote this beautiful song. He'd say, oh, I just tossed that off. It was a little funny thing. But something about it is, it's deep philosophy, this song. It is. Oh yeah, thank you for PayPal me, Venmo. I keep forgetting to say this in a concert, but I find, pardon me, but I find if I mention it enough times, people do it. And if you put the HTTP : all that www in front of PayPal, it goes directly there. But I'm pretty sure you can just do PayPal me and it goes to the right place. Thank you. I see that Joyce Holman is here. Kathy Rochon, thank you for being here. And Bob Grubel, wow, we haven't been in touch for so long. Thank you for being here. Are you still here? And who else is here? Laurie Berkey, wow, hello. And Fern Bork. And then it says show, and I can't see. And Lois Einhorn, thank you. Dave Hull, hello. Gregory Porter, or is that Pontier? Yes, it is. Pontier. In French, we're speaking French now. And, okay, this song. Farmer John wandered back, and when he reached the pumpkin patch, began to speak. He said the weather's getting colder, summer's over, and it's almost Halloween. That's the day, the reason you were raised, when everything about your life will change. You will have eyes to see, and for that night you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. But remember that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. The pumpkins held a meeting then. Some were very apprehensive and afraid. Could this really happen to us? What could be the meaning is what they were saying. This is home, it's all we've ever known. Then one bold, outspoken pumpkin spoke. He said, I don't need eyes to see. It sounds like a lie to me. I like it just fine here in John's garden. And remember that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. There is much to ask and ponder in the pumpkin patch, when imposing old October shows up at last. Then a pumpkin from the farther end, who had been silent up until then, over the commotion said, what would you rather have, my friends? A chance to shine, or die here on the vine? The better way seems very plain to me. You will have eyes to see, and for that night you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. And maybe that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. But only one goblin smile should make it all worthwhile. And you know you might even see the starlight. And knowing that time is brief makes it that much more sweet. when you have a jack-o'-lantern's heart. You will have eyes to see, and for that night you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. And maybe that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. That you will have eyes to see, and for that night you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. And maybe that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. Well, that's fun to play. A lot of chord changes in there. I wrote this story quite some time ago. I didn't live in Massachusetts then. I lived in Oregon, in Eugene, Oregon, for a long time. I'd like to read you this story. It says something about fall. And here I am in the New England fall. They're saying snow comes tomorrow night. And, yeah. I'll read you this story. Our house would look over Eugene, were it not for the previous generations of residents who chose to live with and not dominate the ubiquitous forces of nature that drew them here. In a mere 8 or 9/10 of a century, great trees have reclaimed the hillside that was probably pretty well cut in the early promise of the 20th. We now get glimpses of the larger buildings downtown through the powerful limbs and around the massive trunks of adolescent cedars, Douglas firs, and a sea of smaller relatives. At night, the lights of the city hang like jeweled ornaments on the branches, or fireflies, or sparkling dew on a web. Families of deer wander through. The occasional raccoon and reins of squirrels attract the attention of the neighbor's dog. An occasional death, the crow or raven or whatever it was that left feathered wings on the roadside. I have contemplated something short of assassination, observing the persistent rodents, rats, we foolishly attracted by amassing an open compost pile. They show up for business daily, furtively picking over that corner of the garden where the compost was. The oil drum is an impenetrable fortress, but they jump at its steel sides, smelling the good rotting stuff now safely inside. Tonight, as the sun begins to lose itself in the great trees behind me, my eyes come to rest, for the first time, on the hedge that lies between me and my veiled panorama. Hardly a hedge, but some scraggly cotoneaster creeping about in an environment of adversity and neglect, on the edge of a precipitous drop to the yard. And hedge against what, one could wonder. Webster says, a close row of bushes to place secondary bets as a precaution, to avoid committing oneself as in argument. This hedge has caught my eye because in this fall it becomes spring with barely a nod to winter. Its berries have turned bright orange red. Planted on purpose by humans back when the whole front yard was a cultivated work of art, it is now hopelessly drowning in fountains of blackberry vines. They have taken over the yard, this Medusa cult, as they have been allowed to for many decades, here in the shadows of giants. Evidences of genteel designs that once flourished on this hill can still be unearthed. For in its first life, this house sat regaled in flowering beds and wide lawns that were the refuge for unwed mothers from families of no small means, who needed to be put out of public sight for a duration back in the 1920s. Now the house lives on through the indignity of moss devouring the roof and a succession of humans who have contributed little to its greater health and longevity. Inhabitants have at least kept the blackberries from reaching in the windows, and walkways remain somewhat clear in the face of the raging growth. With gloves and a choice of cutting tools, I begin the extraction of blackberry vines so thoroughly laced into the bushes. They are long-limbed beings themselves, these Cotoneaster. Cotoneaster, spelled like cotton Easter, but pronounced as if Tony Astor sneezed when he said his name. Many lifeless branches have acquiesced to green-leafed and red-berried siblings that none rise very far in the air. Is this their way, or the work of their oppressive competitors? As I cut vine after vine, a futile effort in the long run unless we dig out the roots, I find the struggle more complex than I imagined. Laces of ivy have also woven themselves thick into the tapestry, knit with shoots of maple and poplar. No friendly neighbors, these. However coexistent in appearance, each scrambles over the bodies of their rivals, wrestling the others down, not only to subdue, but fully intending to suffocate and render the loser back to the earth. Playing God among plants, I take the side of the Cotoneaster. Sword ferns have rioted beyond their assigned quarters in the yard below. They smother most smaller life. A maple sapling peering out over the fray turns out to be a serpentine, vine-like being emanating from some 25 feet below in the thicket of ferns, blackberries, and a 6-foot circle of giant iris. I cut and pull a most biased refugee in what has turned out to be a war of many factions. Only a few years ago, new to the Northwest, I saw this prolific show of blackberries as an overwhelming sensual buffet, an orgy in August. Most locals were less enthusiastic. I remember the same feeling discovering neglected armies of apple trees in Maine, dropping truckloads of huge fruit on the roadside or the schoolhouse yard. "Oh, there's better ones over by the post office," was the typical response, and how confusing it was, once sensitized, to trek into Boston and where Commonwealth Avenue dives under Massachusetts Avenue to see the apple trees dropping their apples just over the fence from homeless people in doorways. But the blackberries spur me back to the present. They are alive to me now, writhing and piercing leather gloves with their fangs. They claw to hold on like a cat, thwarting its being plucked from a favorite piece of furniture. They will return carnivorous in my dreams tonight. One propitious stalk, practically as large as that maple sapling, gives way to the saw blade, no doubt withdrawing its spirit underground for all the more aggressive an assault next season. Just a few months ago, I was grateful to these vines staining shirt and hands with the juice of fat berries a few steps from the house. Now they have escalated from mere pest to warranting a police action, to an insatiable adversary in my full-scale war with an acre's worth of life form so much more encompassing than my own, who will surely haunt these premises long after I am gone. Acknowledging the war is lost, I struggle for at least this battle for turf. Beyond the leading belligerents in this entanglement are counter-terrorists and splinter groups beyond accounting. Hundreds of tiny burrs with dreams of the promised land put their trust in me and my socks for their deliverance. thistles, nettles, morning glory, Queen Anne's lace, and a host of others, including a lone, misguided dandelion, meet their fate, to become compost sooner than they had expected. There revealed are two resolute shafts of holly, heading precisely vertical toward what light they were granted. It seems right to clear the space around them. The intervention sincere, however temporary. As darkness advances, I pull burrs from my socks and survey the elbow room I have opened for the cotoneaster bushes. Elbowed they are, their shafts twist and turn in survivalist plumbing. I wonder if they will appreciate or even notice my help. 1 year in so many. Thank you for your donations there. PayPal me. You can go to the button on my website too for donations and custom payments. You can look there for products. We are going to have a new website next week. We are also, I want to tell you in advance, warn you in advance, I'm going to be hitting you up. Yeah, I'm going to be telling you that we have a Patreon page. I'm making a Patreon page, which is, if you know about Patreon and things like that, it's a subscription page where we'll make it a deal that for a subscription, probably we need some prescriptions too, a subscription of, even $1 a month, but more like, $5 a month or $10, $20 a month would get you, $20 a month would get you full access to all music and downloads of things and so on, choral music. So that's the way these Patreon pages work, different levels of commitment to get you to join this inner circle of people that would help an artist, that's me, do his work. So this is a song from my newest album. Longing for that state of grace, we claim our rights, fight for our place, yet we're afraid to come to love. Struggle for access and equality, poised to turn access into opportunity, yet we're afraid to come to love. Drawn by the conflict, caught in the tide, blind to where the cycle ends, yielding nothing of the secrets we hold inside, passing our pain to lovers and friends. Lovers and friends. It's a race no one can win. There's only a place to begin. Just surrender the boundaries and let each other in. Confront injustice with no regrets, yet the more we struggle, the harder it gets. Yet we're afraid to come to love. Struggle for access and equality, poised to turn crisis into opportunity. Yet we're afraid to come to love, drawn by the conflicts, caught in the tide, blind to where the cycle ends,
yielding nothing of the secrets we hold inside, passing our pain to lovers and friends, to lovers and friends. It's a race no one can win. There's only a place to begin. Just surrender the boundaries and let each other in. Confront injustice with no regrets. Yet the more we struggle, the harder it gets. Yet we're afraid to come to love, afraid to come to love. Do we have something seasonal today? Oh yeah. Well, so Halloween's coming. I don't know if we're going to go out trick-or-treating. Or any more knocking on doors to turn out people to vote. We must vote. This is a democracy we have, and I'm pretty enthused about it. Looks like we're going to have the greatest turnout of voting we've had for, I don't know, maybe ever. I wrote a song to encourage a little voting. We won't be victims, won't be afraid. We got to heal the broken world we made. Make a change, make a choice. The world needs your voice. Register your intention, rock the boat. You can't complain if you don't vote. Express yourself, get everybody else. The world needs your voice. Here's the chorus. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Make a change, make a choice. The world needs your voice. Raise your voice, now is the hour. One voice than many, speak truth to power. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. You can sing it. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Cry in anguish, shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. Here's the big words. Forces of exclusion, obfuscation and confusion. The heads of power, those in the shadows, will feel the rising tide. Gonna know which way the wind blows. Raise the spirit, raise the groundswell. Raise consciousness, raise a little hell. Faith resounding, a joyful noise. The world needs your voice. Help me sing the song. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Cry in anguish, cry in anguish. Shout and rejoice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice, needs your voice. The world needs your voice. Faith resounding, a joyful noise. The world needs your voice. 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 Sing it softer now. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. The world needs your voice. change. The world needs your voice. Make choice. The world needs your voice. Won't be a full harmony. The world needs your voice until every voice is free. The world needs your voice. Every single voice. The world needs your voice. I heard you singing out there. My mother was a clarinetist. She was also a grade school teacher. She started out, she didn't have a degree. She went to New England Conservatory and then went to Curtis Institute of Music, and at a pretty young age went out and she was becoming a professional musician, playing classical music and chamber music and in various orchestras and different things. She played in pit orchestras on Broadway, and she played several years on 2nd Avenue in the Yiddish Theater. And at that time, there were no women in any major orchestras. So, there was definitely the glass ceiling for... But I met various people later who said, your mother was the best. They didn't need to say that, but they just did. And, I got a good deal of my musical education from her, as well as my dad, who showed me, the circle of fifths and chords and some music theory. And I had him from math in high school. I had my mother from music in elementary school. I went to Derby Academy in Hingham, and she was the music teacher. So my brother and I could go there for free. I don't think they do that with teachers anymore, but not just them, any private schools. So I had both my parents in school. But I got musical education from my mom just from a distance. I'd be trying to play something on a piano and I'd hear from the kitchen, key signature, or, like that. And I played percussion primarily. I messed with the guitar. My dad showed me guitar stuff, and I had a ukulele starting in 2nd grade, I think. In 3rd grade, I think it was, I shined shoes and made money, and I made $10, which was half of a $20 Stella guitar, and my dad bought me. Later, there's a song called $20 Stella. I had one. I wish I still had it. And they're probably worth thousands now. And then I had a Sears Roebuck guitar. But I played percussion primarily, drums and mallet instruments and things like that. And that's what I went to Eastman School of Music. Originally, that was my instrument, an orchestral instrument. Guitar being a bit of an aside. The very first week I was there at Eastman, somebody had put out a call, can anybody read music on the guitar? And is there anybody? And so I got thrown in with these graduate students doing this Renaissance music and trying to play lute music on the guitar, which I only realized much later. If you put a capo on the 3rd fret of the guitar and then play the lute music, it's much easier. But I didn't know that at the time. And, thought, of course, Eastman School of Music, you'd be probably brought up in front of the dean if you used a capo or something. So, no, that's not true. They didn't have a guitar major at that point. But then I just began to play guitar. And after 2 years, I came back from summer vacation and said, I don't want to play percussion anymore. I want to play guitar. Okay, there's my story. So I, played classical music pretty much. But I know I've said before, I just went nuts over the bossa nova music when I was a kid. So, in the middle of the Everly Brothers and Elvis and everything, here was this music like that. And beautiful Brazilian stuff. And I've loved it ever since. And I
played in bars and played that music. But let's go back to my mom. She played the clarinet, and I heard her practicing this. I never heard her play this with orchestra, but she had a record of Benny Goodman playing the Mozart clarinet concerto. Now, I know I'm talking too much, but I tried therapy. I have to explain it to you. I have to tell you. So the first movement of it, is like one of those, what Victor Borgia used to make fun of all those Mozart things. And it's happy music and all that. But then the second movement, and I heard a great friend in college play this whole movement on the clarinet with what they call a subtone on the clarinet, this soft, amazing sound. It goes down into what's called the Shalimar register, lower notes on the clarinet. So after this happy music, typically these concertos were 3 movements: a fast one, then a slow one, and then a faster one again. And so this movement comes in, and there's this melody that comes in first. Like that. And wait, am I saying the right melody? No, I'm not. Oh my gosh. But then comes this melody out of nowhere. The first time it comes in, it's over a pedal, it's over just the bass note. And the second time it comes in like this. So this climbing melody, da 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 da. Then the third time it comes in, down the scale. And climbing up there a little bit. Well, I have that melody has always been in my mind all these years, and I remember my mother practicing it long. They had retired, and they were down in North Carolina, and she said, "Oh, my embouchure! I have no embouchure anymore." If she were younger, she would have said, "Oh, my chops are gone." But I just recalled the melody and wrote it kind of by ear, remembering how the bass goes up and then it goes down. So here's my song. And most people might play this song faster. Go your way in peace, wander as you may. But this is about the speed that they would come in the Mozart concerto. Thank you, Wolfgang Amadeus.
Go your way in peace. Wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take. May love guide you on your way. Comfort find in truth. May your struggles cease. May the fire within your heart light the way of peace. Bright and brave the dreams, born in darkest night. Mindful make our every step. Honor all within our sight. Minds and hearts now one, till we meet again. Hold the vision of our peace, sacred until then. Happy, and then we go up. So Mozart wrote that for me, and that was nice of him. What should we do? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your donations. Really, even small, all the donations add up. I'll tell you, I have never worked an office job in my life. The only time I really worked for someone else was I was in the Army band and played guitar in the Army band and toured. And I was in Paul Winter's band, but really, I've always been an independent contractor. I've been working for the census lately. We're, you might know, the president and his minions prevailed on our Supreme Court in its wisdom to end the census before it was time, in my opinion, and we'll probably get trolls for that. And so my last day is this Saturday, so I will have even more time to devote to my music and to my new website, to the Patreon page, and filling
that with content, I thought I'd read you a story, and that might have been part of a commercial I could have tied in, that I have a lot of stories and other things I've written that are not tied to music. So they will probably go on the Patreon page. And I did have a book. It was a joke. It was called Just the Words, that had the words to songs a while ago. But I wrote so many more. I took that off the market. It was a homemade book, and I had it at concerts. I'm going to put that out again soon. So next week, post-election reflection, I don't know what we call it, post-election 12-step recovery program will be next Wednesday night. Let's hope. But whatever happens, I'll be here, and we'll look forward to communing with you again. I hope you can come. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles. Be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. Ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles. In the night. Thanks for being here. We love you all. Be good to each other. Look forward to seeing you next time. Hey, if you haven't, go to YouTube and subscribe to my page so that if I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, we're getting there, they then will pay me something for the ads they run on my songs. So thank you. We love you all. Good night.